Hey everyone, so yeah, that was the lyrical and the technical for Trombone and Euphonium for the middle school level here for Florida this year. So here are some things that I, as an all-state judge, would be listening for, and some things for you to think about as you prepare these etudes over the summer. So, starting with the lyrical, some things we need to think about right off the rip: dynamics. We are starting with piano, and then we are getting softer. Now remember, this is a soloistic piano. You don't have to be quite as quiet as you would be like in band, but you do need to be cognizant of like, I need to bring back my volume a little bit. Now what I would suggest is, if you cannot play a full, if piano is intimidating to you, go ahead and fill it up a little bit, and then when we get to the louder dynamics later, the mezzo fortes and all that sort of thing, we can just embellish that up a little bit. So bring your louders up so the softers don't have to be quite so soft, because what we're really looking for is the contrast. But also there's a lot of what we call hairpin dynamics, where it goes up and down, and the people who really commit to making a flourish out of that are gonna excel in this audition. Another thing to worry about would be the phrasing. There's slurs over top of a lot of this stuff, and there are specific breath marks that you need to hit, and I would try my best to not be additive. Don't add extra breathing where you don't have to, because this etude is actually pretty well planned out when it comes to its breathing. And speaking of breathing and ends of phrases, make sure that we aren't clipping notes like in the first line, that higher F that has a breath mark after it. Make sure it's a full-blown quarter note. It's not just stopping so you can take a big old breath. We need to, of course, we're gonna have to shave off a little bit of it to get that breath in, but you don't want to shave off more than like 75% of the note. You want it to still be a nice quarter note in length. The last part is on the embellishments. With the trill, I wouldn't go for too long, especially euphonium players. Don't wait to establish the A flat before you move through that trill, but don't make it really long. Don't make a big deal out of it. Trombone players, good luck. There's not really a trigger solution that I know of. If you do, mention it in the comments. If you're a teacher or a trombone person reading this and you know better than I do, but I don't know of a trombone trick from A flat to B flat. And with the last little embellishment with all the rallentando in it, da 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 dee dee dee. Those notes weren't right at all, but that's the rhythm that you're going to be looking for. So you're going to put the 16th notes kind of on the 8th of one, and then you're going to really start pulling back towards the end, especially depending on how well your air is and how that's going. Moving on to the waltz, it is a waltz feel. You're going to have that 1 2 3 1 2 3, but still go ahead and practice it with 3 or triplets on. Jeep bop bop beep bop bop. And the big thing with this one is watching out for where is staccato, where is a accent, and everything in between. We want to make sure that we're really going for the correct articulations here. Now, the last line of this technically is about as hard as it's going to get in our whole audition, but the rest of it's actually not that bad. It's not that fast. So making sure that we're also paying attention to all the little bit of dynamics that we get, especially in that second line, and remembering that we go from forte down to mezzo forte down to piano. Now, the last line is going to dictate how fast you play this entire thing. If you cannot play that last line quick, the tempo that it's supposed to be, or quiet, we're gonna have to do some adjusting of your tempo. Me as a judge, now not every judge is like this, but me as a judge, I would rather for slower, more consistent, so maybe not a 72, maybe closer to a 68, but you can nail it. I'm kind of okay with that, as opposed to at 72. Now granted, it is Florida All-State, so I would assume that most people are going to hit that 72, but if you're in a do-or-die situation, I would slow it down rather than muddy it up faster. Now, I will go ahead and warn you, when I've judged All-State, the people who do the best on the scales tend to be the people who do really well, and the etudes seem to be a way to adjust what chair you're going to be in. Now, granted, you need to have a stellar audition all the way through, but don't forget about the scales. The scales are going to be a really big part of this and need to be just as prepared as these etudes are. If you found this video helpful, please give it a like and please subscribe. And for those of you who are doing different auditions this year, look for those videos. If it's later in the summer, it's probably already up and it's in a playlist. And if not, just be patient. We're going to upload them later. But anyway, I'm Aaron. Be happy, never satisfied. I'll see y'all next time.